Hi, I'm Woody Huffines, and I'm the Nerds to Go in McKinney and Frisco, Texas, and this is Tech for the Untechnical. Well, it's not just the technical stuff that we need to pay attention to. Some of it is how do we use the technology to look good when we're in these video conferences. There's some things that we should probably pay attention to on these video conferences that we don't necessarily pay attention to because this technology is new to us. Here's a couple some technical issues you need to pay attention to, and then others. This is the third video in the series. Go look at those as well. But there are some things that are social or sociability things that have a technical component to them that you need to understand as you use Zoom video conferencing, WebEx video conferencing, any of the video conferencing that we now find very common in our business lives as well as our personal life. So, what are some of those things to think about? Well, the first one is you're on video, which means that you're on video. You don't think in terms of video. You don't think in terms of being presented with a camera in front of you. Now, doing YouTube, I think about these things a good bit, and being a photographer, I think about these things a good bit. But you may not think about the things that you're doing that in this meeting might look a little awkward because we're not used to the technology. When we're in a meeting one-on-one with somebody, or we're in a meeting that's in a conference room, there's a certain ebb and flow to the way the communication goes, and the people around the room are doing the things that they're doing, and it's very different when you have a camera that's sitting right in front of your face that's looking at what you're doing and looking at your background and looking at the things that are going around you, because you don't know who's looking at you when you're doing something that might not be something that you want to do, like, I don't know, rubbing things or scratching things or picking things. You're on video. So keep in mind that this is technically different because you're on video. The second piece of this is what I'd call family issues. You're at home, or because of the way we're putting things together right now, we're at home. We're all stuck at home. And you've got a family, and your family's at home too, which means that the rugrats or curtain climbers or tricycle motors or whichever age that your kids are in are running around the house making noise and doing things. You need to pay attention to what that looks like from a professional standpoint and what the technology does that puts that into part of what you're presenting. If you're using the microphone on your laptop, for example, not only is the sound quality a little low, but you don't know what all the sounds that are getting picked up by that. And in a video, and here it is, one of the things that I talked about is using a headset so that you can hear the sounds that are coming through. So as you set up your environment to do these video conference calls, set up an environment with an idea that you're not the only person in the house. What do you need to do to set up your environment so that you've got an appropriate background, that you've got appropriate lighting, and that you're not going to get a surprise with a kid running through the back of your office while you're on a call? And that means setting some ground rules and setting some expectations about how this is going to work for you at home. Letting everybody know, hey, I'm about to be on a conference call. It's a video conference call. Nobody come in your underwear talking about where are the Fruit Loops this morning, for example. Maybe it's like you did in your dorm room in college. You put a sock on the door handle, if you know what I mean. The next piece of your environment that you don't know how the technology is going to treat is your pets. I don't know. Everybody's seen the video of the hippopotamus that kind of becomes a fertilizer spreader. I won't share the link. If you haven't seen it, you probably don't want to. But I was in the middle of a phone conference call. It wasn't a video conference call. And I had a dog sitting right outside the window, and the dog's barking and barking and barking. And I let Seamus in. And when Seamus came in, Seamus was old and he had a bit of a problem. And I've got a headset on and I'm talking on a conference call, and he started having a problem with controlling his bowels as he walked in the house, and I'm on the middle of a call with important people going, not cool. Think about what your environment is, especially with pets, because pets are a little less controllable than children. Well, actually, they're more controllable than children. When you put your children in a dog kennel, you probably get in trouble. So think about what you're going to do with your pets. Think about where the dogs are. Think about what the sound the dog's going to be making, because while it might be cute in some settings, overall, this is a technology that picks up a lot of information because you're on video and you have a microphone that's uncovered, and those things are technical things that you need to kind of pay attention to before you get on a call. Get that stuff under control and it'll make it go better for you. The next thing to think about is screen sharing. Often what happens in these calls is that you need information that you want to share to be shared to the screen. So again, spend some time with the software before you get into an important call and understand how the screen sharing works. For example, one of the things that you might be able to do is just share part of your screen. Like if you're going to do some PowerPoint slides, you can just share the PowerPoint application so that someone's not seeing your entire desktop. Because maybe you've got some shortcuts on your desktop that you don't necessarily want to share to a lot of people, or your boss is really boring and you're watching YouTube videos over on the side and you go to share your screen and you pop the screen up and you've got another thing going on your screen and everybody knows that you're not paying attention because you shared your whole screen. Not cool. Spend some time thinking about how you're going to share your desktop, what information is going to be shared, and how best to do that. And again, find a friend, share your screen, y'all talk about it, see what it looks like. Screen sharing has been an issue for people because the technical pieces of how to share your screen is not something that you may be familiar with. Spend some time doing it. Bunch of different pieces of software, bunch of different ways to do it. Test it, play with it, understand it before you get out in a call. The next technical challenge that we're really not used to is the chat window. All of these things have a way to have chat so that whoever's presenting, they can be presenting, and you can open up a chat window. And in that chat window, share your thoughts, ask questions, communicate with other people in the room. But it's pretty important to make sure you understand how the chat works. There's usually a drop-down menu so that you can either chat to everybody in the room or chat to one person in the room. And it's important, if you decide to use the chat window, to understand whether you're talking to everybody in the chat window or that chat message is only going to show up to one person. In one call I was in this week, somebody just went off on the person that was speaking and talked about how they were dumber than a bag of hair, and everybody in the chat room saw it. Little uncomfortable. It's a new technology for us, so spend some time with it and learn it. Figure out how your microphone's picking up sound, what sounds is picking up, what the video feed looks like, what it looks like in the background, what your lighting looks like. Figure out how to share your screen. Figure out how to use the chat. Get familiar with these things so that you don't find yourself doing something a little off the beaten path in the middle of a meeting that you really didn't want to go there with. Just saying. I guess finally the thing is, use the all too uncommon common sense. Think about how the technology affects how you're presenting yourself, presenting your business, or talking to grandma. It's a new world that we're in, and the COVID-19 crisis has helped us learn these things, and it may give us some tools that we want to use in the future. The more effectively we use these tools, the more effectively we can use these tools, and we can make them a part of our lives. If you have any questions, give us a call at Nerds to Go, and we can help you out with those things. I'm Woody Huffines. I own the Nerds to Go in McKinney and Frisco, Texas. This has been Tech for the Untechnical. If you find this information helpful, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, mash the notification bell, share it with your friends, give me a comment, and y'all be safe.